Welcome to Women Speakers Association's WSA-TV. I'm Laura Rubenstein, and today we're talking about this journey called life with all kinds of challenges. And what we're going to explore today is how to elevate our skills to cope and deal and powerfully do life, positively face these challenges. And guess what? I have two amazing experts, premier members from Women Speakers Association, to guide us through with their expert on how to develop the skills to live powerfully and positively. Let's go say hi to them. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. My name is Laura Real. I'm an optometrist. You can find me at lifestyleoptical.com.au and I'm from Sydney, Australia.
So great to have you here, Laura. And hi, Brooke.
Hi, Laura. I'm Brooke Richey. I'm based in Seattle, Washington, and I'm a holistic voice coach where you can find me at voice.waspandfigsounds.com.
Love it. Thank you. Great to have you, Brooke, as well. So we're going to dive right into our topic of developing the skills to live powerfully and positively. And Laura, I thought you could give us some advice on what skills you recommend.
Um, I would tell people to master their clinical skills, but put as much effort into developing their soft skills and attitude as they do into their career. So personal development is just as important as the clinical skills. Um, the thing with personal development is that we tend to be very hard on ourselves. So if we do a course and we fail a subject, we just say, okay, I'll do it again and I'll continue. We don't say, that's it, I'm dropping out. But when we do personal development, we have goals. For example, we may say, I'm doing 3 exercise classes this week, plus I'm cutting down on 1 coffee a day. The end of the week comes and you haven't done that. So we drop out. All of a sudden, it's too hard. And I don't know why, but I figured it out. It's because we're not accountable. So when we're learning something, we're accountable to our teachers, to our parents, to our lecturers. When it comes to personal development, there's no one holding us to judge us. So we have to be accountable to ourselves because that is what makes the difference. That's what makes the difference. That's what makes the difference between you and your technical skills and the other people. So go for it, do it, and do not drop out. I promise you, baby steps and celebrate every baby step. The other thing is, when we work in our clinical skills, we're part of a bigger platform. We're part of a business. Embrace that business, that platform where you are, because you're not alone. And if you embrace it, you'll not only be better at doing your own job, but you'll enjoy it more. The other thing is, don't run away when things get sticky, which they will. They'll get sticky in everything you do. So instead of running away, which is our natural instinct, and yes, it was mine, everything I say sounds easy. It's very easy to say this, but believe me, it takes a lot of hard work, just like finishing a university degree. It's very easy to say, hey, go do this, go do that, but it's a lot of elbow grease. So there's a lot of elbow grease with your career as well. So do not run. If you have a problem, when it gets sticky, communicate to your leader and they will help you or ask them for help to push through and you'll develop better coping skills. You'll be positive and happier.
I love that because, we are so apt to say, I give up, I'm done, but
That's right.
we're not going to elevate our powerful, positive life if we don't stick to it. And I love what you said about accountability. So that brings me to Brooke, who I know you can relate to accountability, right?
Yes,
So,
I can. Yes, I can.
so Brooke, as a holistic voice coach, I'm sure you do a lot of that. But what advice do you have for our viewers on how to develop skills to live powerfully and positively?
Right. Laura, I love what you're saying. I want to piggyback on the accountability part and the baby steps because we tend to get ideas in our head like, oh, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go do that. And I feel like so many of us are inspired by doing these big, grandiose things, but we forget, oh, you have to build from a firm foundation. And so when you say technical skills, I hear communication skills. And communication with yourself is the number one way you're going to build a successful life and live a powerful life and a way of doing, right? So, something that you can do, this is so easy. It's called vocal validation. And it's not just me. I mean, maybe you two have tried it here, but these are things that like millionaires and billionaires actually do. They coach themselves. You talk to yourself on a recording, you listen back to it, and then you absorb what you expressed. You listen to yourself. Were you excited? Were you emotional? What were the things driving you to say what you were saying, and why did you feel safe saying them, or why did you not feel safe saying them? So communication with oneself improves communication with others, and that is what feeds this powerful way of living and doing. And that's also what grows a skill set for you to do whatever you want to do, because you have to, you come back to the, all right, baby steps, and you coach yourself with whatever it is you're transitioning and doing in your life.
I love it. So
Right.
when you record yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what are we recording? Coaching ourselves in a certain area, or what are you asking us to do?
It could be anything. So kind of where I come from is you want to identify blind spots that you might not, it's a blind spot. So I can't see it, right? But there's something in your subconscious mind that's keeping you from doing something. And so this is a scenario, right? Something in my subconscious mind was keeping me from making 100K a year. And then I started talking through the things of how I felt about making that much money per year. And then what does that do? It frees up those strongholds in my brain. That's what you're doing when you do vocal validation.
Wow, very powerful. So, and it's also bringing us back to Laura's original point and of
Mm-hmm.
accountability. It's another way to be accountable to yourself. It's like you gotta, it may feel scary, but at least it's just with you. You're just listening to you.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, I love both of your advice for developing those skills to live powerfully and positively. And sometimes we have to get out of that, be okay with the discomfort zone, right? So we can move on and grow and feel better and more
Mm-hmm.
powerful in our lives. So let's talk about each of you and where you've come to. What lights you up? What do you do? And who do you work with? Laura.
Yeah, so I'm an optometrist, so we test eyes all day. And I work with executives with high digital workloads. And my goal is to keep them productive by giving them good visual skills, but also visual comfort. So anyone can make someone see well, but allowing them to work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on a screen is a different story. So we have different lenses we can use. There's all types of different spectacle lenses that we can use to help them with their situation. And it's really important to know what the ergonomic setup is. And, over the years, I've been doing this for 30 years, and boy, oh boy, have I seen different ergonomic setups, particularly because the executives have the money to put the latest things. So we've gone from sitting desks to standing desks to one screen to 6 screens to round screens to larger screens. And it's really exciting being able to help them be productive for as long as they like.
So share with us a story of how you did help someone.
Well, I helped someone in my clinical skills. So I did have a patient who I was seeing for a while, and all of a sudden his eye pressure spiked. And it wasn't a lot, but I watched it, and then I collaborated with an eye specialist. And after a couple of years, we decided that yes, this gentleman did have glaucoma and we needed to treat it. And so he was a photographer. And of course, it was his shooting eye. So basically, we saved him from not losing any vision, but also we saved his career. We prolonged his career by doing that. So I think if I, without blowing my horn, I'm proud of the fact that when I work, I'm the devil's advocate in when my gut tells me something's not right. So I could have given this situation the benefit of the doubt because it was really mild, but I thought, no, I'm not risking this gentleman's career.
Yeah, and that's the true mark of a professional and also someone who wants to empower others to live powerfully and positively. So we've come full circle for this show. It's like just perfect demonstration for that. And what a gift you gave him is the extended life of his eyesight. So thank you for the powerful work you do with the executives, with the entrepreneurs and the artists out there. So,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. So, Brooke, I wanted to go over to you and learn a little bit more about who do you work with? What do you do with them?
Yeah, I draw in a lot of individuals who may have had traumatic experiences that they're unaware about. So I mentioned the blind spot, right? When you kind of what you're saying, Laura, about extending his vision throughout the course of his life, that is the preventative care I put into my practice. In when you introduce the correct vocabulary in your brain to those blind spots, what are you doing? You're improving your brain's cognition, you're improving your reasoning skills, you're just expanding. You're expanding your ability uh, to process complex events in life or complex processes. So, what does this do in the long term? Kind of getting into my mission now is to help people reconnect or stay connected to society. And that has long term effects and large impact for industry, for business, for families. I hope this is tracking. But I do attract a lot of artists. I attract a lot of young entrepreneurs, people who are just very solo endeavored, and I guess not the I don't want to say the lone wolves, but I want to say the people that are just very ambitious and they feel that they are called to lead. And so I'm really attract those people who uh, are looking for that next step. They're looking for the next step of how do I really exercise my leadership skills? How do I speak out with my voice to grow that audience, to grow that following? And yeah, so that's kind of who gravitates to me based off of where I've come from.
And it totally tracks because you're a holistic voice coach
The whole,
and
mhm.
you're not talking about la 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 la, you're more talking about
Yeah,
what is going to bring you out in communication and how to use your voice that way and how to connect to yourself. And Laura, you empower people similarly with their eyesight, but you're holistic in the sense of bringing them that positivity and outlook and empowering them. So I love this. But Laura, but Brooke, I want to go back to you and tell us, how did you come to this work?
right. Yes. And yeah, to let's see. Basically, I came to this work because I've been a musician for 20 years. I've been singing for that long. And I understand the human voice. And another way to look at the human voice is it's the organ of your soul. So if you want to empower people, if you want to build skill sets, you have to exercise this organ that literally like you can look at me, it takes up half your body because it starts all the way down in the stomach. So when you're exercising all of this, what do you think that's doing with your blood flow, with your breath, with all the neurons and connections going on in your body? It's one, really helping your nervous system out, your ventral vagus nerve, and it's also doing what I just was speaking about in improving that brain cognition. And so you I have such a passion for, I see it all the time. I see people who um, they are very uh, they're very insecure in how they're communicating something they want to do, and they'll divert their eyesight. They'll divert their eye contact with you, or they will turn their head slightly and communicate with you at a side as opposed to straight dead on. These are all things I notice in people that I've worked with, and so we work on centralizing this. And so, anyways, this is what I've done as a recovering CPTSD survivor. I spent 3 years integrating a framework into my own life, which was that vocal validation I spoke about before. And when you do vocal validation and you make a daily practice of it, all you're doing is you're connecting experiences, emotions to your brain to your body. And so after doing this for 3 years, I was able to uncover a suppressed memory that was actually 15 years old. And that's how I came into this work, because I realized when you go through that, oh my gosh, I was so disconnected. I was so disconnected. I was isolated from society, from the things I love doing, just because of this blind spot that I couldn't see. But the thing is, when you introduce the vocabulary, the correct and positive vocabulary as well, you're able to uncover those blind spots and then free up your mind to just go after, be powerful, step into your skills and your talents.
I love how you're able to use the way you benefited and then share that with others. Because I
Thank
had
you.
never heard that vocal validation, and it sounds so simple, but yet so powerful,
So
and a little
simple. It's so
scary. But
simple.
I think,
Yeah.
if we get a little brave with ourselves, we'll be better for the whole world. And that's what our show is about. And that's what Women Speakers about, is bringing your voice to the world, your message to the world. And both of you are doing that so beautifully now. I wanted to ask you both, what is the value you have received or wanting to receive from Women Speakers Association? Laura, would you like to chime in?
Sure. Well, I joined the association on the advice of a cherished friend here in Sydney who couldn't stop speaking so highly about the association and about Gail Watson and Laura, yourself. And it was like she was glowing. Even though I wasn't seeing her, I was hearing her. She was glowing. And yeah, it was like she'd found her tribe. And so I thought, okay, I've got to do this. And what I like about it is that you learn from other women. But I always think about, like, I always think about my grandparents and great grandparents who lived in a village back in Italy. And I think they could not connect to anyone bar the villagers. And here we are, you guys have set up this platform where we can learn the lessons and often lifelong lessons and stories from women all over the world. It is just crazy from our house. Okay. And it's just incredible. And so I'm just so inspired and so willing to learn from all these beautiful women because I think that women speak the language unto themselves. When a woman speaks, we just connect. We just get it. There's a sixth sense, a seventh sense. I don't know what it is, but it works. And even today, I've learned so much from Brooke. I mean, Brooke saying that voice is the organ of the soul and then connecting it to the brain. I just see that's language, and language is how we inspire people. So I think it's just a wonderful thing. So thank you to everyone.
You're welcome. And thank you for being so inspiring and an example of that as a premier member, Laura. And Brooke, why don't you share with us the value that Women Speakers Association is to you?
Well, Laura, what you just shared, that is just affirmation that investing in you all is exactly what I needed. And because when you find good women, that's the thing. And I don't want to say women are bad or anything, but when you find encouraging women and supportive women, we are so much stronger together. And that is something that I know a lot of people struggle to find because of the world that we live in. We have so much pressure on us, right? We carry the world on our shoulders. Women bear the weight of the world. Like if you've ever had hip problems, raise your hand, because that is carrying the weight of the world. So that's why I joined Women Speakers Association, because I just wanted to be empowered and I wanted to connect with other women like-minded like me who are just going after it, right? That's what we're doing. I love it.
And we're here to share our wisdom and support each other as a sisterhood. So beautifully said, Brooke and Laura. Thank you so much for being on our show today. It was rich with how to develop the skills to live more powerfully, more positively with our voice, holistically, as we go through our, whether we have technical skills, we also need those softer skills that will empower us to use those technical skills. So it's been very valuable call and show today. So thank you. We'll be back again next time with you all for another edition of Women Speakers Association's WSA TV Premier Women Show. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.